Hey everyone, welcome to another chat with Kat, and I am going to be starting a whole new series on the awakening process and what does it actually mean to awaken. And I'm going to be taking words that are commonly used after you have an awakening journey and dissect them and give new perspectives and help bring shifts to your reality to create a new timeline. And today I chose the word awakening because there's so many people that talk about after you awaken, this happens, that happens. You see the world for what it is. And it can be overwhelming. It can be frustrating. It can be irritating because you see the world completely different like that. Like it's just a flip of the switch. And all of a sudden, everything that you thought was true is no longer true. And I'm not saying that it's a lie. I'm just saying that it's no longer true. At any point in time, something that you felt was true can change. And some examples that I can think of is the way the world is run. You think everything just is a system, its cogs are all in place, the wheels are turning. Not the case. The way you see the entertainment industry, celebrities, movies, music, all of these things have a hidden agenda. Everything that you thought about your health, not true. What you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to work out, what's going to help you get in the best shape of your life. Whatever works for you is true for you. There isn't a one size fits all program. There's no fad that is going to make you look like a Kardashian. Hate to burst your bubble. Sorry, you guys. But what does awakening essentially mean? For me, in my opinion, it means you've reconnected to who you truly are. You're starting to see things from the lens in which you came here to see. You understand that you're a soul in a human vessel having an experience. And all awakening means is that you remember. You remember who you are. You remember why you came here. You may have come with a mission. You may have come wanting to experience life in this form. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, at times it is very difficult to navigate through all this chaos. And in this series, I would love to help connect us all on a deeper level, to help you understand what each process of this journey means by giving you different ways to see it. And that's all. And if it resonates with you, fabulous. If it doesn't, that's okay too. But I also want to hear about your journey of awakening and how you got to this point. Because I'd love to say my awakening started really in 2020, but it's been a journey throughout my whole life. I just didn't understand what was going on truly until last week. I finally understand what it means to be connected to God, source, creator, Christ consciousness, whatever you wish to call it. I finally felt it for the first time in my life. And it came from me being triggered. And it was the final, I want to say like trigger that allowed this to unfold, that allowed me to understand what this truly means. And in your life, if you have gone through highs and lows, if you have been told that you need therapy and that you're negative and that you need help and that you'll never amount to anything, you'll never do anything good, I've been there too. But I also knew deep down something wasn't right. Why do I have to work hard? Why do I have to have a job? Why does everything have to be a certain way? Down to the way you brush your teeth, down to the way you shower and get ready every day, down to the way you dress and look. Why does it have to be a certain way to be accepted? Doesn't. And one of the coolest things that I want to share is that when you understand the feeling throughout your whole body of the meaning, so of the things that you hear, like all the cliche sayings that people say is your challenges make you stronger. God gives the toughest battle to the strongest soldiers. Follow the light at the end of the tunnel. This challenge is here for you. Everything is working for you, not against you. And when you don't fully understand the feeling that comes from those statements, all you want to do is punch someone in the face. Am I right? Like, blah, 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 shut up. This is tough. I'm going through it. All I need is someone to listen and understand. That's it. But my mission here is to help you understand the feeling. And I don't necessarily think you understand the feeling by going through the experience first. It's about having the feeling first for then you to have the experience, which is totally backwards because you can go through a challenge and you're going through that challenge and having that experience through the challenge. But once you can take a step back and look at it from the outside and understand what the challenge is truly for, it's for you to awaken that part of you. You're going through that difficult moment because your soul is remembering. And your soul doesn't remember things only in the joy, only in the peace, only in the freedom. You can go meditate, you can go ground, you can go walk, you can listen to high frequency music, do sound baths, you can do all of the things that you're being told to do, but the awakening comes from the challenge. It doesn't come from all the woo-woo good times, positive vibe stuff. It comes from the deepest moments, the depths of your soul. Your challenges are the awakening. And I'm going to share this with you because I feel like this is powerful. And I hope that it gives you a shift today. I hope that I activate something deep in your soul. A month ago, probably a month and a half ago, my current job, shall we say, I do personal shopping, was in a low. There wasn't a lot going on. I'd explored other options. I explored doing a workshop. I started just doing all the things I knew to do to create more money in my life. Wasn't working. My whole body started to hurt, my whole left side, which a lot of it is in moving forward. You're staying stagnant, you're staying stuck. I understand that side of it. It wasn't until my little puppy Xena, any of you that know Xena, my tough little girl, who didn't whine a peep after she got neutered or spayed or whatever the girl is, who has never cried from getting hurt, jarring things, whatever, yelped the loudest scream when we were outside one day. Wasn't running, she just turned in the grass and lifted her leg up, and I thought, oh my God. Couldn't get into anyone for 24 hours, so 24 hours in the unknown of what's going on is terrifying. And she can't talk, she's a little puppy. That was the final straw for me. I broke down. I couldn't handle any more stress at that point. I felt like for a whole month I was just treading water, treading water, treading water with glimpses of light, with glimpses of hope, with little glitters of goodness sprinkled here and there. And I'm not talking I was sitting in doomsday and feeling sorry for myself every day. That's not the case. I'm very happy regardless of what I'm going through. But that was just the final straw for me. I just felt like, overwhelmed at that point. And I called my dad and I said, I just need help. I'm tired of doing it alone. Unfortunately, he was headed to my uncle's funeral and couldn't come help and support me for the weekend, and that's okay. But that's the first time I've asked really truly for help when I felt overwhelmed. Just to have somebody else here to help with the dogs while I navigate through this new challenge. Also, at that point, oh, things started to compound. It just felt like one thing after another. And I'm sure you've been there before. And fast forward 3 weeks from that point, I stayed more at home. I took my foot off the gas a little bit because now Xena could no longer jump. We couldn't go for walks. I couldn't have her running around. We needed to focus on rehabbing her leg. For those 3 weeks, I had no idea if what I was doing was helping, if it was right, if it was going to help. And when we finally went for the checkup 3 weeks later, she said, You're doing everything right. Just give it a couple more weeks, keep doing everything you're doing, and she'll be back to normal. That moment was such a sigh of relief. It was like I lost 50 pounds of weight that I was carrying for that 3 weeks because in that moment, that's all I wanted to hear is that you're doing a good job. You got this. Now, 3 weeks after that, wasn't busy, orders were drying up, tried other options, created a workshop because I was like, that's it. We need to quantum shift this reality like right now. I'm tired of it. I don't want to live in this reality anymore. I've watched enough, I've learned enough, I've grown enough. It's time to shift it. Let's do a workshop on it. I find every time that I teach something, I expand even more. So I was super excited. I'm like, this is it. This is the moment. Up to that point, there was a couple days before the workshop, I had one person registered. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to pretend there's 100 people there. It's going to be fucking epic. And you know what? 20 people could sign up the night before and it's just going to be amazing. I did not lose hope in that moment. I also had my car started making a weird noise. I was told to not drive it, just in case. That's how bad it was. Therefore, I could not work. Then I had nobody show up to the workshop. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I also had two friends reach out to me. One conversation went amazing. It was a tough conversation. She felt she had to have it with me, and I respected that. In that moment, I wasn't scared of what she was going to say. I wanted her to know that she was heard and that I wasn't going to react. Those were the only two things I was focused on, and I already was in way over my head and overwhelmed. And it turned out great. And you know what that conversation did? It activated me. I had another friend where I had to have a tough conversation. That one didn't go well. Both of them taught me something. Because of those two experiences, the car breaking down, the not making money, the no people signing up to the workshop, I decided this was the time I wasn't going to lose hope. I was going to keep going. Everything compounded together over that 6 weeks or whatever. I finally felt it because I let go. I detached from everything. So if you go back to when Xena got injured, I was overwhelmed and I reacted. I felt the overwhelm. I sat in the overwhelm. I didn't know how I was going to keep going. I just felt like, when is it going to get easy? When am I going to get a break? And when I went through it last week and all the stuff was piling up and I felt overwhelmed, I just let it all go for the first time, truly. I said, you know what? This is meant to happen. And it was that moment I felt it. I felt something in me that I've never felt before. All I can say is that was the moment I felt God, Christ consciousness. I knew everything was going to be okay. And I understand my mission now. And for the longest time, you guys, I felt I had to have some special gift. I wanted to learn light language. I wanted to be psychic. I wanted to have some cool thing that would draw people to me, that would make people want to work with me, that would make me feel special and unique, like I have some superpower. I am the fucking superpower. I don't need to have some special gift, some magical ball, some glitter coming from my fingertips to activate you. What I'm here to do now is help you connect to that feeling that I have. And guess what? It hasn't gone away. I know now more than ever, everything's okay. It was like the final key. And it's not that, oh, I'm finally here, I finally arrived, life is going to be glorious and magical. That's not what it's about. It's about knowing you're loved and supported no matter what. And 4 days after this happened, for the first time in my life, I felt proud of myself. I was in the shower, always happens to me in the shower. And for the first time in my life, I was like, wow, you've gone through so much. I'm so proud of you. You got through all this, all 44 years of it. I know I look 29. All 44 years of it to get to this point. That's magical. And now what you get to do is activate this in other people so they can feel it too. Next week, we're going to talk about triggers because my belief is that when you're getting triggered, and obviously you've probably heard this before, you're getting triggered because someone's mirroring something in you that needs to be dealt with, that needs to be fixed, essentially. Here's the thing. If you're getting triggered, that's part of your gift. That's part of your activation. You came here to get triggered by that to help you remember something about yourself. That's what it is. When people are out there purposely trying to trigger people, that's not love. That's not God. That's not consciousness. That's not unity. That's not connection. What do I mean? People that are being polarizing, people that are being purposely malicious, trying to trigger something in you so you go work with them. That's not how it's done. You've done it, I've done it, we've all done it. So I'm not praising that I'm some fucking God hero. That's not the case. But we're going to talk about that next week. If you stuck around and you enjoyed this episode and it helped you in any way, please share with me in the comments. I would love to hear your awakening journey. I would love to hear how this supports you. And as always, I hope something incredibly magical happens for you this week, and I will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to another chat with Kat.